Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I thought I would do a video today talking about this idea of a mental reset or taking a mental inventory and basically resetting yourself, because I think this is something important. I'm about to do it myself because I've got a lot of crud that has accumulated over time in my head and this is an important thing to do. I'm not as good at doing this as I should be, but I realize the importance of this. So I'm partially doing this video for myself. It's like so many videos that I do because I want to bring out of me what I actually think and the values of this. And sometimes the only way to do that is to communicate that. You'll find that this is true if you write blog posts, if you do videos, if you speak at conferences, if you in some way communicate your ideas, you'll find that that actually gets to the heart of the matter for you. Like you actually develop what is inside you and it comes out, and then you actually benefit from that. It's a kind of a weird thing about being a creator, and that's some of the reason that I think drives me to create and drives a lot of creators is because they realize this point. So what am I talking about here? What ends up happening, let's say, okay, like let's just take my day today, right? I've got a bunch of things I plan to do that I want to do. And I've got these ideas in my head that I want to write for my book. I need to spend some time writing that. I need to figure out where I'm going to dinner tonight, what the dinner plans are going to be. I need to go and I've got to get my workout done later. I need a new book to listen to. I need to catch up on my email. There's a bunch of things, right? But then what ends up happening is, I wake up in the morning, okay, I got a few things done, but it's time for Entreprogrammers podcast. So I do that podcast. That takes 2 hours. It actually takes more than that. Then right after that, I have a .NET Rocks interview. So I'm doing that podcast. And then right after that, I've got a little bit of, I get the alert that I need to make the patron only video for my channel. If you're curious what I'm talking about, is there are some videos that you do not see unless you're a patron. I do one a week, and so you can check that out. There's some cool patron rewards for supporting the community, becoming part of the community, and supporting the channel. Anyway, so that happens, and then that's where I'm at now. It's like, since I'm recording videos, I might as well record videos. But all of that mental cruft, right, all those things I planned this morning and stuff from earlier this week is hanging over my head. It's like these loops, these open loops. They're not closed. And this is part of, if you've ever read the book, Getting Things Done, I recommend it. I don't necessarily follow this process exactly, but this is part of like the strategy of that book is getting rid of this cruft, putting it all down and organizing it. And you'll notice this happens, right? Especially if things don't go according to plan for you and you've got a lot of things that you're thinking about. The more of these open loops you have, the more stuff that's hanging out there that isn't addressed, the more kind of stress, like there's this underlying stress that you feel like you should be doing something else when you're doing something, or you feel like you should be doing stuff and you don't even know what it is sometimes. And sometimes you could be totally done and you just haven't settled you haven't closed all the books. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. And so you're still in that place and you're getting this. This happens to me all the time on Fridays, right? Because I have a lot of stuff lined up on Fridays. I've got a lot of cruft from the rest of the week and I'm done. I'm supposed to be relaxing, perhaps, having a good time. And I can't because I've got, and I don't know why. And when I go back and I mentally catalog and I look like, okay, what haven't I done? Well, everything is done, but there's something hanging on. So a way to address this. Again, I'm not a perfect expert at this because I still suffer from this problem. So I'm definitely open to some opinions that you have for those of you that have successfully done this. But this is the best way that I know how, and at least this will help you at some base level. So first of all, just like that getting things done system, if you haven't written down, if you don't know what you're supposed to do, if you don't have somewhere where you have some system of record, a backlog, right? Or something that you have all the things that you need to get done, the kind of tasks and projects that you're working on, you need to have that. That's going to help you. I do have that for the most part, but sometimes there's some things I don't capture and it still isn't an absolute solution. But if you don't have that, you're going to be operating at a very high level of stress because your brain is constantly sending these messages to you to remind you. It's like, the pop-up that keeps popping up to tell you, you've got an appointment in 10 minutes. Now you've got an appointment in 5 minutes. Hey, you didn't do this, right? And so your brain is constantly nagging distracting you with that and bringing these things to the foreground so you don't drop the ball, right? You need some place to rest the ball so you don't have to juggle it all the time. So that's number one. Number two is when you're in this, I did this video about being in a rush, being in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry, right? You can move fast but not be in a hurry. And this is where, you know, that same technique comes into play, which is what I'm about to do after I finish this video. Is I'm going to, before, you know, I'm going to hit the gym a little bit, like an hour, 2 hours. Before I do that, after I finish these videos, before I work on anything else, I'm just going to take a quick inventory of everything that I'm thinking about, that's stressing me out, that I'm kind of worrying about. And I'm gonna probably put that into a list. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a list, but I'm going to think about each one of those things and think about closing those books. Like, let's just address each one of those things, and then I'm going to plan the rest of the day with what is possible to do in this day. And I've talked about this a lot because this is a really important strategy, is because when you feel like there's more than you can get done or that's possible, you lose hope. And when you lose hope, you get distracted, you procrastinate, you don't do anything at all. So you take, you know, a negative situation and you make it into worse. So that's a strategy that I'm going to use, that I would recommend, at least if you don't have a better one, is catalog everything and then go through and mentally close those books. Go through and figure out what it is that you're thinking about? What is the thing that's nagging you? What are the things? Just if you just have the list, and then figure out what things are you going to do today. Like, give them times that you're, you know, assign this, plan it out. Plan out the rest of your day so that you can give yourself permission to have your head clear when your day is done, right? And some days it's going to mean, no, I'm going to have to bust ass until midnight, and tomorrow I can have my head clear. That's fine, but you're just going to get a clearing. You're going to get rid of some of that mental cruft just by addressing these things, because we have this temptation, right? And I have it even now, right? As I'm telling you right now, I'm thinking, let me just get going and getting stuff done. And that will not reduce the stress at all, because we feel like we're behind. We want to, you know, catch up. We want to take action, and it's a right feeling. But the right thing to do is to pause, take the 10 minutes, close some books, plan out the rest of the day. Then you can operate from a clear model, and then you can know, I've got to get these objectives done. There's a time to do them, and when I get them done, I've addressed all the outstanding issues, and I can kind of relax and rest and reset. And one thing that I've discovered in myself, and I'll wrap this up here, is that I don't do this often enough. And if you let this build up for a long enough time, it starts to become a very, very heavy burden on you, and it's going to affect your performance in a lot of areas of your life. So this is, I think, is a really important thing and really important strategy, especially if you're taking on a lot of stuff, right? Sometimes I have fantasies about the simplicity of people's lives, that, you know, they just go to work, they don't worry about what they're going to eat. They, you know, just do their job, and then they come home and they watch some TV and, you know, whatever, decide where to eat for dinner and go to sleep, and that's it. And they don't have a huge amount of, you know, all these things. I've got a ton of balls that are going on at all the time, but it can be dealt with. The more stuff you got going on, the more you're going to have to come up with some system of dealing with this. Otherwise, you're just going to crack. You're just going to crack and you're going to drop everything, and that's the worst thing that you could do. So anyway, hopefully you find this video helpful. If you do, I have a special request for you. I know I say this a lot if you watch my videos, but subscribe, click the button, you know, go ahead and click it now, because if you like this video, chances are you're going to like a lot of my other videos, and you can check out some of the playlists and stuff that I have on here, because, you know, I want to help you, and I want to spread the word, and subscribers is my goal to be able to do that. That's the metric that I use to know that I'm being successful and that I'm helping and reaching more people. So anyway, I would appreciate that if you did subscribe, and if you are interested, like I said, in getting some of the patron only videos, check out the Patreon campaign. There's also like Facebook group. There's a bunch of bonuses and stuff for those of you that want to take the next step level. If you've already subscribed, you want to take it to the next step and really see what else you can get out of the community and start interacting with people, and especially like-minded people that are filtered, so they're not the people that are spewing the sort of hatred that tends to be prevalent on the interwebs, as you can go there. So anyway, hopefully you liked this video. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.